After Saturday's false start, we do finally have some football back here at Home Park. The winds and the rain of Storm Dara have parted, and it will now be down to the players in green hoping to cause some carnage here on the pitch tonight. Argyle dropped into the bottom three on the weekend and are without a win in a month. And today it is Swansea City who make the trip to Devon, coming into tonight having drawn their last two games. All of the action is coming your way tonight here on Argyle TV, and you won't want to miss a thing. Hello, good evening. I'm Erin Black and welcome to Argyle TV Matchday Live here at Home Park. It's a bit weird not being here on Saturday, but of course we are back tonight, and hopefully it's given the players a little bit of time to, rest, recover, recoup with a weekend off due to the storm. It's just the one defeat all season here at Home Park, and they are desperate to put on a positive display tonight. You can, of course, get your match passes, both audio and video, for all of the action here this evening. They're available over on the website right now. That is pafc.co.uk for all of the details. And joining me for all the action tonight, I am pleased to announce former Argyle women's captain Katie Middleton.
Good evening.
How are we?
Good, thank you. Yeah, excited to see what tonight might bring.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a weird one because December is notoriously a busy month for football, and we're coming in off a weekend where we had no football, quite at the last minute, understandably so. I don't know if you saw it on the way in, Katie. There was a caravan just down at the bottom of Central Park that completely flattened by a tree. So I think it was in everyone's best interest. But do you think having that little pause may have done the squad a favour?
Yeah, I think it's one of those tricky ones. Obviously, coming off the back of a couple of heavy defeats, you kind of want to play again as quickly as you can to try and put that right. But I think it's probably given the squad time to recuperate, get themselves together again, have a good week on the training ground. I think by all accounts, Wayne Rooney worked them hard during the week off the back of those couple of heavy away defeats. So it gives us a chance to reset tonight, and obviously being back here at Home Park is where the magic normally happens. So hoping for another fantastic night under the lights again here.
Yeah. And it's not just an interlude at the weekend in terms of a lack of things happening on the pitch, because there have been things happening behind the scenes. Of course, we've got Mike Phelan as well joining the Argyle team as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably a shrewd appointment. There was talk about it in the summer. I think when Wayne got appointed initially, would he come down and be his number two? It was said that yes, he wanted it and he would come down if he was asked to. Obviously Pete Shuttleworth was brought in, and I think it's done a good job here. But it's the start of a new era now with Phelan here, and obviously Rooney's done a lot of work with him in the past at Man United. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things go and what influence he has on the side, really. Yeah.
Do you think this is quite a crucial point in the season in terms of where Argyle are at in the table? We know they've slipped down towards the bottom even more now. Maybe things will be more noticeably different with this new appointment in Phelan?
I don't know. I think, Rooney obviously had a lot to say about what was going on the pitch, so I'm not sure that will necessarily change that much. He's still the head coach, and, it's his ways and his football that, he's trying to get the lads to play. So, I think Phelan will be there as a good ear, someone to lean on, a shoulder to cry on sometimes when you need it, and, he might just have that maybe more experience in terms of that in-game management stuff, which potentially sometimes we lack when we need to make changes.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to come into that kind of environment, it's nice to come here to Home Park for a home game, because we know that is where Argyle are stronger.
Yeah, and, a good chance to see what it's like for obviously the boys on the pitch tonight, but also playing in front of another packed out crowd here at Home Park. So yeah, good for him to get kind of a real experience of what good times there can be around Home Park if the boys are playing well.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a really accurate representation, I think, of what it means to be part of the Argyle family, actually getting to kind of come out and have that taste of it all here at Home Park. We'll have a look at the teams because there are a few changes from last time out. Of course, we'll have to cast our mind a little bit further back because of that lack of game on Saturday. So let's start with the Argyle squad then for you. Your starting 11 this evening are shaping up a little bit like this. Dan Grimshaw, Barley Mumba, Nathaniel Ogbeta, Cornell Suge, Callum Wright, Mustafa Bundu, Lewis Gibson, Darko Jaby, Andre Gray, Adam Randall and Brendan Galloway, and on Argyle's bench, Connor Hazard, Jordan Houghton, Julio Plegathuelo, Ryan Hardy, Michael Obafemi, Adam Forshaw, Rami El Haj, Tegan Finn and Victor Palsson. I think about 6 changes, Katie.
Yeah, lots of changes, and I think again when you look back at the last couple of results, probably warranted. I think the big one for me is it's great to see Brendan Galloway back in, not only in the squad but in the starting lineup. I think he brings a wealth of experience. You know, he can be a really classy player when he's at top form. So I think he's a really important player to have back and someone we've definitely missed over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we get the squad list a little bit before we come on air here, and there were some discussions between you and yourself, Charlie Price, who's doing the commentary with Mark this evening, about how the formation might look, wondering whether it's going to be a 3 or a 4 at the back. It's all open. It's a 3, but I'm hearing we can't actually see the official one. But is that a surprise to you that it's a 3?
Not particularly. I think with Galloway back, he kind of fills that nice left-sided centre-back role. Obviously, really important to have Gibson back in there. He's been probably one of the best performers so far this season. And Suge as well has been good when he's played next to Gibson. So to have the 3 of them there together, I think is really important. I guess there's chance to change things if things aren't working very well. I think the likelihood is that the opposition will go with a 4 at the back. So potentially, could you match them up if we need to?
Yeah.
Obviously, Gray gives us the outlet up front, which we'll need at times tonight. And it's about getting numbers up around him and supporting him as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've also got Lewis Gibson wearing the captain's armband as well. What do you think that means, for him as a player, as part of this club?
Yeah, I think it's massive. Any time you wear the captain's armband and you lead a side out, it's an important role. And I think him playing as that central centre half, if we do set up as a 3 at the back, then he's got an important job in terms of trying to keep everyone organised. I think the defending at times over the last few games has been poor, let's put it that way, and it's been too easy to play through us. And I think it's really important to have somebody who can organise people, show that kind of want to go and win the ball, but actually getting everyone else around you doing what they need to be doing, and organising people in front of you and trying to make it difficult for Swansea tonight to play through us. Yeah,
I mean, Gibson wearing the captain's armband because no Joe Edwards, also no Whittaker now until January, and Sissoko as well still out. It feels like it's a little bit of an uphill battle for Rooney with the injuries that the squad have sustained this season.
Yeah, and I think injuries to really key players as well. It's not just been fringe players that are injured and not available. It's been, generally speaking, top class players who've performed really well. You think of Joe Edwards, he gives you that drive and that passion.
Yeah.
Sissoko was making things happen and was being really lively going forwards. And when you have players like that who are missing, it takes a massive toll on the squad as a whole.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's great to see Galloway back in and obviously get Christmas and New Year out of the way, and hopefully some of those players will start to come back in again.
Yeah. Of course, you won't be able to see it right now, but Connor Hazard, I know we're talking about Brendan Galloway's recovery on the team sheet tonight, but Connor Hazard is just over there, getting stuck in, getting involved a little bit, which is nice to see as well.
Yeah, again, another good player to have on the bench as backup. I think fair play to Grimshaw. He's done a great job since he's come in, and potentially if it wasn't for him, there might have been a few more in the goals against column. So he's done a really good job, but it's great to have good goalkeepers who are pushing each other all the time. It's only going to make them better and us better as a team.
Yeah, the fight between Dan Grimshaw
Indeed.
and Connor Hazard perhaps begins. Let's go over to our opposition then and see how Swansea are lining up for this evening. Their team looking a little bit like this: Lawrence Vigoureau, Josh Key, Jay Fulton, Ben Cabango, Harry Darling, Matt Grimes, Eom Ji Sung, Josh Tiemann, Florian Bianchini, Liam Cullen and Miles Pert Harris. Katie, Swansea, 13th in the table compared to us down on 22. So, there is a bit of a wedge between the two sides.
Yeah, but I think when you actually look at the league table, I think the points difference is maybe still only 7 points. It feels bad at the moment because we're in the bottom three. But Swansea have had a fairly inconsistent season, I would say. They've, fairly even across the board in terms of win-losses and draws. So who knows what Swansea side we might get tonight, what performance we might get. But, they're a side who certainly like to get the ball down and try and play. They've got players who've got a lot of experience in the side. So it's how we go and kind of manage that's going to hopefully win us the game tonight.
Yeah, well, we of course have Obafemi and Ogbeta as former Swansea players, and Swansea have got Key and Grimes, who are former Exeter players, which obviously adds another little dynamic. It's of course not a like-for-like swap, but there's always a bit of rivalry when there's an element of Exeter involved.
Oh yeah, always. We don't want them to get on top in any sense, so yeah, certainly putting one over them tonight will be good for us tonight first and foremost, but yeah, we don't want them up the road winning anything.
Yeah, and bringing a lot of experience in the midfield as well, Grimes in particular.
Yeah, he's played a lot of games, I think over 300 games now for Swansea. Like I say, started up the road at Exeter, and he's done really well since he kind of broke into the Swansea side, and he's pretty much been an ever-present since. So got a goal at the weekend as well against Luton. So a player that's dangerous and obviously knows how to ply his trade well at this level.
I mean, stats-wise, he's actually played every minute this season, which is, a fantastic testament to your kind of calibre of football player. Doesn't score a huge number of goals, Swansea. I mean, 19, but they don't concede a lot either, which is something Argyle really need to try and capitalise on if they're going to want to, get away on this one tonight.
Yeah, I think their goal difference is only 1. So, yeah, scored 19, conceded 18, I think. So, a difficult side to break down. But a team who, generally speaking, like to have a lot of possession of the ball. For me, tonight, it's about how Argyle go and press. Can we stop them getting settled? Because if they get settled and they get time on the ball, they're a team who can keep possession and will pop it around us. So, yeah, it's about Argyle getting on the front foot. This crowd getting behind people, trying to cheer them on. And, we want to see Argyle playing on the front foot. We don't want to see them sitting in and, we've seen how that's gone in the last couple of away games, so something needs to be different tonight at home.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Argyle concede early in recent games, certainly away, but we know when they're at home park, they're more than capable of slotting one in right at the last minute. And we say always, hopefully it doesn't need to get to that stage, but you just never know, do you, Katie?
You never know. No, I guess it's a good thing because, you have that sort of never say die attitude, and they keep going right to the death, and you'd never write them off. You'd never say they're out of a game. We were 3-0 down here at one point and managed to come back and draw 3-3. So anything can happen here at home park. It would be nice if it was nice and chilled and we were a couple of goals up going into the last few minutes. So fingers crossed.
Well, even so, it will certainly create that big atmosphere for a new addition to the club. Mike Phelan, he joined the backroom staff over the weekend. Of course, he knows Wayne Rooney from his days at Manchester United. So why does he feel that Phelan is the right man for the job?
What did you do over the weekend on Saturday? Were the players off, or did you still kind of have?
No, we were in, obviously, Saturday, doing as much as we can, really. Obviously, it was difficult with the weather, but we've been in training, preparing, obviously, for the game on Tuesday. So, of course, not ideal, and we had to adjust to what we've done in training-wise. But I think the preparations have been as well as they can be.
Yeah. Big news coming out over the weekend was Mike Phelan coming in as the assistant head coach, Pete Shuttleworth moving on. Tell us a little bit about bringing Mike Phelan in. Obviously, someone you know incredibly well.
Yeah, obviously, unfortunately for personal reasons, Peter's left the club, and we had to move quick. And obviously, Mike is someone I know really well. I know his qualities. Obviously, he was my coach at Manchester United. Brings a wealth of experience to our coaching team as well. So I think it was a perfect choice, ideal for us to bring him in. And once I spoke to him, it was clearly he was willing, wanted to come in, and we got it moving and got it done quite quickly.
Yeah, incredible amount of experience in the game, hasn't he? You know, the amount of years, and for so long, Sir Alex's right-hand man as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, so, yeah, as I said, he's great experience, not just only, obviously at Manchester United, but obviously worked at this level before as well, and so knows the league, and, you know, a real student of the game, so I think he will bring a different dimension to what we've had, and I'm sure he'll help us.
Yeah, he was in today, first day, probably kind of getting to know people and what have you, but you can't rest on your laurels, I suppose, with the game just over 24 hours away. So how is prep going forward?
Yeah, prep obviously has been good. We've had obviously a little bit longer to work on Swansea than we would have. That's the positive in terms of the game at the weekend being cancelled, so we've managed to have a little bit longer to work on Swansea, and yeah, we've put the work in, the preparation in, and now we're ready obviously for the game now Tuesday.
Well, we spoke about Phelan at the top of the show, Katie, and, you know, hopefully what he'll bring to the club and how important he will be, in particular to Wayne Rooney with his relationship, because of course they have worked together and he has worked at the very top level of football.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's a number two to Sir Alex Ferguson for as long as Phelan was is obviously there for a reason and on merit, you know, in a very successful Man United team. So he obviously knows how to manage sides, how to get the best out of players. And I think sometimes it's even that sort of man management side of stuff that you don't necessarily see, but has a big impact on what happens on the pitch. So if he can get his arm around a few players, and you know, a lot of these players are low on confidence here at the moment. So to get them playing well and build confidence, and obviously support Wayne Rooney along the way in terms of his decisions, tactical side of the game as well, is going to be massive for Argyle.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we may not have the points on the board that we would have necessarily hoped for, but I think from speaking to the players, you know, on iterations of Argyle Breakfast Show before this season, they've spoken actually about how having someone like Wayne Rooney as the manager, with the experience and the success that he's had, being able to have him just on hand to speak to, probably Phelan will bring a similar vibe to that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, obviously the strikers have really enjoyed working with Wayne Rooney, and you know, he's obviously a top-class striker and scored a lot of goals at the really highest point of the game. So, you know, they've had that to feed off, and I think, yeah, Phelan gives you that as well. You know, that confidence to know that you've got someone who you can go and talk to, and will give you, you know, his experiences that he's had again at the top level of the game. So yeah, a really important appointment for Argyle, a really big appointment, and something I think we should be kind of looking forward to see what he can bring to the side. Yeah, well, hopefully tonight is the night, and we can, you know, we can start the roller coaster on an upward motion. And we will have an interview with Mike Phelan later on this week, and you'll be able to catch that on Argyle Breakfast on Saturday as well. Now, as we said, Swansea are nestled quite nicely mid-table at the minute, but they've only actually won one of their last 5 games, and they've come from behind in their last 2. And head coach Luke Williams is hoping they can lead from the front this time around.
Plymouth, I think, as it stands, 1 win in 9, clearly struggling for a bit of form at the moment.
Yes, yeah. So it's the Championship, so you have to guard against any complacency at all, because every club in the Championship has players that can hurt you, and every club in the Championship has good staff and good facilities now, and you know, they can prepare their players. So yes, they're having a tough time, but we're not expecting an easy game by any stretch of the imagination.
And although the recent results have been disappointing, I think they've only lost once at their ground all season. So no danger of complacency, as you say. Clearly a difficult place to go.
Yeah, agreed, and I think that will suit us in some ways, you know, to remind us when we get there that this is going to be a tough game, because I've been down there a number of times, and the fan base is incredible, and the ground is always very, very full, and they make a lot of noise. So you know you're in a game, and if you allow the fans into it as well, you know, they'll really compound that and let you know that you're in for a game. So we have to go and try to control the game as much as we can, and we have to be resilient and tough, because yeah, they're going to be fighting for everything, and they're going to have the support they need.
sticky form for Swansea, but unbeaten in their last 3, which bodes well for them.
Yeah, and as we said there, a couple of come from behind draws, which again shows the character that they've got in their squad. It's going to be a difficult game tonight. A mid-table championship side. We know how difficult this league is, so anyone who's kind of sitting comfortably mid-table, you start to think, they're all good teams. So, not maybe in the best form. Haven't scored loads of goals, but a difficult opposition tonight for sure.
I mean, it's too early to say at this point in the season, but a win could get them to within 4 points of the playoffs, so they'll obviously be looking to capitalise on that for sure. But Argyle got the opposite problem. We need the points to get up the table and away from the danger zone.
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously results on Saturday saw us drop into the bottom 3, and as quickly as you can, you want to put that right and get yourself out of that situation and try and climb up the league as quickly as we can. It's quite close in terms of points still, so 3 points moves you away from the danger zone and drags other teams into it. So, like we said, we've been really good here this season in terms of results. We've only lost here once, so it gives us an opportunity and a platform to build on again off the back of a couple of bad results on the road.
Yeah, but Swansea are pretty good away from home, which is a nice trait to have, one that unfortunately we don't have at the minute. But like we said, Argyle actually have only lost once here all season, which is amazing and bodes well, on the reverse. So like you said, I think it's going to be quite a butting of heads tonight.
Yeah, it will be, and I think it's about who gets on top in the game early. As you said, we've conceded early goals on the road so far this season, so we want to be at it from the first whistle and try and get in their faces, try and stop Swansea from settling into the game. As I said, they're a possession-based side, they'll want to keep the ball, so what we want to see is them going to high energy, go and press the ball, try and win it back high up the pitch, and if we do that, we'll create chances tonight, and then it's about whether we can take them and get ourselves ahead in the game.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first. Katie's got the plan of action. We'll just have to hope they execute it effectively. We are just under 10 minutes away from kickoff now, so pretty much ready to get going here on Argyle TV for you. Just a reminder, if you haven't got your match passes already, please do go and get them now. They're available over on the website, pafc.co.uk. It is Charlie Price and Mark Edworthy standing by for your commentary this evening. And Argyle versus Swansea City are up next.